Okay. Everybody but you.
Yeah.
I keep on saying I'll come over and I'm gonna call about innovation, we'll try to figure it out. Yeah. I had myself on. I'm not gonna knock on the door.
I said I would.
I did troubleshoot and try to figure it out. I'm hoping it's not underground and it's just one thing. Or on the toilets, figure it out.
Okay, thank you.
Just let me.
Oh, I don't know, but it's.
She's in. Took a long time.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Town of New Shop Town Council meeting for Tuesday, May 3rd, 2022. I'll call this meeting to order at 7:30. Anybody who wishes to speak from the audience will be asked to rise and use the central microphone to ensure audio for those watching from home. Item number 1 on the agenda is public comment. Does anybody have any public comment this evening? David Lewis.
Hopefully this is easy, and so I'm curious about the incomplete work at the intersection of Old Town Road and Stuttgart. It's been open for a year, and I haven't heard any talk about it, and about when that's gonna be, even when it is, or what the holdup is, or why is it not finished, or when will it be finished? Can you help with that?
David, you finally got me. I don't have an answer. I'll look into it. And he's right, because recently I went by and saw the exact same thing and thought the same thing.
Yeah. Okay, I can accept that too. Other things I don't know the answer to. That's the question.
So let me look into that.
It's striking, right? The striking all the time.
No.
No, it's on the side. It is close there. See, I know about it. I can tell you about it.
I misunderstood you. I thought you said striking.
No, Stuttgart, at the
Yeah.
intersection of Stuttgart
Yeah.
and,
Right, I got it. Thank you. Appreciate that.
thanks.
Any other public comment? Hearing none. Number 2 is a public hearing, receiving act on an amendment to the Town of New Shropshire zoning ordinance, section 513F4, standards for town employee accessory apartments. I would make a motion to open the public hearing. Second by Sven, all those in favor, Mark? And Sven. I'm in favor, Keith. Motion carries 4-0 to open up the public hearing. Who wants to take the lead? Mary Ann?
Sure, this is, as the council can remember, this was the amendment to the ordinance that started with the town council. This particular 513 ordinance, there was a provision in it that expired as of December 31st, 2020. December 31st, 2020. If the council did not renew the act, we did not renew the act. However, we need to renew this act so that we can continue with our project on the town's property. And so that's what's before you this evening. This did it as required once the council did make the request to change the ordinance. It did go to the planning commission, and attached you can see the memo that was sent by Jen Brady on behalf of the planning board, that they had a favorable recommendation of the town of council's recommendation that they then added the zoning law.
I would just wanted to say, Jen, thank you for moving this so quickly. Please thank planning for us, because, hopefully this is the thing that kind of like fast tracks that project and gets it done, particularly given the compelling need to kind of work out. Thank you guys for figuring it out and drafting.
Just to be clear, this doesn't just encompass the town's property, right? I know that was the sunset on this.
It's all town owned property,
It's all town.
just town owned property.
Right, perfect, I just want to make that clear. I will make a motion, public comment? Thank you. I'll make a motion to accept the amendments to the town of New York, accept and approve the amendments to the town of New York zoning ordinance section 513F4, standards for town employee accessory apartments. Second by Sven, all those in favor? Keith?
Yes.
I'm in favor, Sven? And Mark?
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0 with the absence of Council Ball. I will make a motion to close the public hearing. Second by Sven, all those in favor, Keith?
Yes.
I'm in favor, Mark? Aye. Sven? Good. Motion carries 4-0 to close the public hearing. Item number 3 on the agenda. Public hearing to receive and act on the amendments of the town of New Strong zoning ordinances sections 110, 112, 113, 202, 302, 320, 420, 502, 504, 506, 508, 509, 512, 515, 517, 518, 602, 603, 701, 703, 704, 705, 707, 708, 709, 711. So, complete list. The amendments are related to the duties of the public official and zoning official to ensure continued proper enforcement and administration of the zoning ordinance. The ordinance currently specifies the building official shall serve as a zoning enforcement official. The town no longer has a combined building official, zoning official, and certain duties assigned within the zoning ordinance are proposed to be amended to zoning official rather than building official as appropriate. Additional minor amendments for gender neutral phrasing have also been included and proposed within these amendments. I will make a motion to open the public hearing. Second by Sven, all those in favor, Keith? Yes. And in favor, Sven and Mark. Motion carries 4-0. One. Right?
So, the first paragraph pretty much explains exactly what happened with this ordinance. I think, was this you, Jen, that wrote this, or was it a combination you and Allison, but it pretty much sums it up. The zoning ordinance as currently drafted refers to the building official. As you know, we now have we've outsourced the building official's position, and the zoning official is now Jen Brady. Mark Tilson held that position combined, so in the zoning ordinance, where it said building official or zoning official or both, we were covered. Unfortunately, this ordinance referred to the building officials for a lot of things as it relates to enforcement of the zoning ordinance stuff. Therefore, really, no one can enforce anything until we got this change. So that's what's before you this evening is change where we found that it stated building official, where it should say zoning official. There are times where building official is correct in here, that it is appropriate for building official. And also the very end of this ordinance proposed change, there's language as relates to duties, because again, there's some overlap in the duties. So we clarified that and separated out duties that are specifically related to the zoning official as opposed to the building official. There are also some minor changes in this ordinance as it relates to, gender neutral, here's up to theirs and things of that nature. Other than that, there's really no change as it relates to the zoning ordinance or anything to do with zoning. It is strictly an administrative changes that relates to the building official, zoning official, and the duties of those individuals. Nothing has been taken out as relates to the zoning ordinance in that regard.
Thank you, Marion. Comments from the council?
Yeah, real quickly, just, or Jen, but I'm assuming where it says here, 506, OWTS, 16 inches of building official remain, 2 inches change to this there. That is actually, while this is summary of 506, I'm assuming all of that's effectively changed in the zoning ordinance, right? Or building official zoning, that kind of thing.
Right.
So all, this is just really a summary of all of it versus any changes per se. Okay, just make sure. Thank you.
And the planning board did issue a favorable recommendation.
Yeah, and basically they went through and buried all of those on minute but critical things.
Yeah,
Thank you.
the 53-page document
Yeah.
has all those changes that we made.
Thank you very much for all that work.
Yeah, that's all Jen and Allison.
Thank you, Allison. Thank you. Changes, proposed changes? If none, I will make a motion to approve and accept The amendments to the town of New Shore zoning ordinance sections 110, 112, 113, 202, 302, 320, 421, 502, 504, 506, 508, 509, 512, 513, 517, 515, 602, 603, 701, 703, 704, 705, 707, 708, 709, and 711.
Second.
Second by Sven. All those in favor, Keith? All in favor? Sven? And Mark. Motion will carry 4-0. Item number 4 is to receive a presentation from the Stormwater Superintendent John Burdick and Attorney David Petracca to set public hearing date regarding revisions to the New Charlotte Town Ordinance 719-501, mandatory water restrictions. We all have this in our packet. There's a chance to read it.
Sure, so recently
Sorry to apologize. Is David online?
He is, yes.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, David, thank you. I just want to make sure you're with us.
Yes.
Thank you.
So recently, the Board of Water and Sewer Commission has met, and one of the things, I found this out about a year ago. John and I were talking about conservation measures in Block Island as it relates to water. And I happened to look at the ordinance and realized, I said, John, there's an ordinance on the books that talks about this. And he looked at it, and the two of us looked at each other and realized that it's an old antiquated ordinance that dates back some years. So what they're proposing to do this evening is to amend and basically eliminate that antiquated ordinance that is currently on the book that is not applicable. If I'm not mistaken, John, correct me if I'm right, at that same meeting, the Sewer Water Commissioners did adopt regulations, or they in draft form?
They're currently in draft form, and we'll set a public hearing to change those at our May meeting.
And at some point, those will also probably, I suggested at that point when they were drafting the regulations, that they may want to bring for the council for their input and stuff like that, since these will be affecting, granted, their own water uses that would be affected by this, or the rules and regulations, but I think they would like to at least have the council take a look at stuff.
So, do you have anything to add to that, John?
You know, if you look at the draft ordinance, I did add some language that, I mean, you could scrap the whole thing if you wanted to. I added some language that gives the council some, it gives you something in an extreme situation. Let's say we have an extreme drought, and for a couple of years, it does give you the ability through a resolution to have some kind of mandatory water restrictions. You guys can take or leave that. Just a suggestion from my end, considering we're a sole source aquifer, and that we don't know what's gonna happen. You might get a few bad years, people's wells start going dry. You know, I don't know what's gonna happen in 10 years. You could, like I said, you can take or leave that. That's completely up to you. That was just suggested to have something in place still that gives the council something to go on. That's all. I kept it very vague, and it's not as specific at all as the water restrictions before. So that's all I have to add.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, John, when do you think that draft will be ready?
The draft of the rules and regulations, it's ready, yeah.
I know, but when, so it'll be voted in the May meeting?
May meeting, we go through the public hearing process too, so we'll set a public hearing to change it. And we're, the water restrictions would be imposed June 15th, so we're trying to beat that deadline or come close to it. Yeah. Basically, if you want to hear a little bit about it, that's fine, but it's June 15th to Labor Day. No unattended hoses, no sprinkler end use, we call it. Irrigation systems, water cool compressors, although we're giving them another year because some people need a year to get rid of them. Soaker hoses, stuff like that. It's a lot about irrigation, pretty much.
And that's on town water.
That's on town water.
So your point of the private wells is you are ready and going to give the council rain should we ever need. On the town water, that ordinance you think will be ready June 15th?
Yes, yeah, for our June meeting, yeah.
Is it worth to do this now and then that one later, or just hold this and do it all at once?
It has to be advertised and go through the ordinance.
Yes, this needs to go through the
Let's
same
set-
process as your
Let's
last
set a
year.
public hearing tonight
Yeah.
if you
You can
wanted
set
to.
that public hearing tonight.
Yeah, that was kind of the goal, is to set a public hearing tonight, and then we'll be back in 3 weeks or so, whenever you guys can do it, and then we can make the change.
And just to clarify, just to clarify something for me, in the narrative here, Board of Water Commissioners requested, ordinance to allow the water district to move forward with new water conservation restrictions. So with this, with these changes, if approved, allow the water district, the Board of Commissioners to do this without council permission, or just to allow the council to implement these in emergency situations?
Essentially, since the district was formed, this would give the Board of Water Commissioners in the district the authority over their users. And then this, the way it's written, it would give you guys some authority in an extreme situation over private wells if need be ever in the future. So this is just an old archaic ordinance that was left on the books from when the council used to serve as the water committee. And it was put in during when Sands Pond dried up and everything else, so.
And so, Ken and Doug. Tom's not sure what he's gonna get out of his chair.
They probably served on the town back in the day, so.
You can take your vote.
Yeah, so, but then the water district was formed in 2000, it stayed on the books, it should have come off probably at that point, but it kind of stuck at the bottom of the ordinance.
Great, thank you. I just wanted to just get a clarification on the delineation of, who controls the private wells, and who controls the, the public wells. So, I mean, I have that, that's why on the first page here, it has, the water district, on the second page here, it talks about the private wells, that's what I was just trying to.
Yes, that gives you guys some bearing to have a resolution in the case that we have a really serious problem. And I think that would take a lot, but, climate change, who knows, there are crazier things that happen, so.
Do you have an idea, not on the agenda, but do you have an idea of the study that you've done about the water that you're talking
Oh,
about? The URI study and whatnot?
that's gone a little cold on my end, so,
Okay,
yeah, after,
Okay,
certain
appreciate
reasons,
that.
yeah, things gone a little cold. I haven't heard from them before.
Mary, Millie, do you have a proposed public hearing date? Anybody?
The earliest that we could do this would be June 6th. If there's no problem with implementing prior to your regulations or simultaneously.
Yeah, I mean, we meet not until, you guys have beat us, so it's fine, that's the way it should be. Yeah.
Okay. June 6th.
We don't meet until a couple weeks from now to set up a public hearing.
That's fine for you, though, June 6th for us is good.
Yes, that's fine, we end up doing it a
No?
little bit 2 weeks later.
You don't like that?
Well, does that mean that there could be 2 or 3 weeks of no ordinance? Well, no, I mean, if this is all scratched.
Hasn't been enforced in 20.
Okay, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, you got two different things. You got ordinance that you're looking to eliminate because it's archaic, and we won't talk about how old it is. And the second piece is that this Sewer and Water Commission adopting water regulations,
Which they do already.
which they do already more or less in place. So there may be a span if this is public hearing and adopted, although we're not following it, where there's no ordinance and no regulations. The regulations will be adopted sometime early, but this doesn't matter. This language is still archaic, and they don't have any water regulations in place currently.
Highly valuable, but
Yes, thank you.
So that leads me to the question of who is the enforcer of this ordinance? Now or in the future?
The ordinance that is commonly enforced, I have to look and see what states who enforces it. Probably the town enforces this ordinance. The water regulations are enforced by the water department.
Right. Is there any public comment? I'm not gonna look at the old archaic one.
Man, I'm never gonna live that
I'm
down.
asking. I'm not looking on that. David Lewis.
Well, my attention by passing something that sometimes where the town can regulate something, but without any, and something that may need to be enforced, but you're not planning for the day when you need to enforce it.
We're sending public hearing.
I'm sorry?
We're just gonna send.
Oh,
public hearing.
okay, well, before you set up a public hearing, you might want to take my comment under advisement and just decide whether you need to modify.
Sorry.
Proposal before you advertise it for public hearing. That's up to you, I don't.
Well, we could easily take that under advisement, have it added to the public hearing.
I don't, you know your public process better than I do.
Great, we can amend that to, we can amend that during the public process or during your public process.
Jim, for the ordinance, you can do that during our public process.
Or you guys can recommend something during yours, which is in 4 hours, right?
You're going first on
I think
this. You're going before us.
I think it's important to have at least a clear, you know what I'm trying to say. So we can set the public.
Public
I make a
hearing date?
motion, we set that public hearing to June 6th,
At 7 PM at Town Hall.
7 p.m. at town hall.
Second.
Second, I said. Right? All in favor? Keith? I'm in favor. Yeah, Sven?
Yes.
And Mark?
Yes.
All right, motion carries 4-9.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you, John. Thank you, David. Doug Michelle.
From the archaic, benefit. 1 year, we had no employee at the water company. Henry Dupont, who was on the town council, voluntarily ran that water plant the whole summer. He'd go up at night after work, he'd go in the morning, he'd make sure that plant ran, we had water.
Should we think about doing that again?
I was just gonna say, to John, don't get any ideas.
What are you doing this summer?
We can help you. There was a council member,
It was probably easier, because that wouldn't attack the wildlife.
Yeah, right.
Thank you.
Thank you guys and all your job.
And David Petrarca, thank you too. I know you're.
No, thank you. No problem whatsoever. Happy to help.
Item number 5 is discuss an act on the recommendations for motor vehicles fire commission, renewal of motor vehicles for hire wages. B, award 22-23, 2022-2023 taxi license to John Cohen. And C, approval of the taxi wait list. It's all self-explanatory.
I'm very forward to see, because I hold a taxi license. Decisions, but before I leave Kate. When you put on a board committee or at this table, oftentimes you have to make decisions that are not easy to make. But given the criteria before you, you have to make it to do your job correctly. And in this instance, I think the taxi commission has grossly underachieved by sending these names to us.
Okay. Brad, any other comments you want to speak to this?
I mean,
The memo you sent?
no, we did, the only thing, we set forth a letter all tax license, they have to be picked up and utilized as per regulations, okay? And that we were redoing all of them with the exception of the archaic gentleman that given up the license. The over.
You know, Brad, you could move over. So we're terrified.
I'm not going to utilize it.
Does anybody have the town sergeant number?
No, the police chief.
Might be necessary. Any comments from the council on the list or anything like that?
The question, the taxi wait list looks like it grew a ton of.
Well, it's shrunk. It's shrunk.
I'm sorry, that's what I meant.
It's shrunk, yes. A number of people, Nancy Greenway, have
Decided not to.
have decided not to, elected not to have their names being on the list. She was fairly high up on the list.
Yeah.
Okay, and a few others as well.
Okay. Motion be in order to renew the New Strong taxi licenses for 2022-23 license year for Martha Ball, Victoria Carson, Judy Clark, Gloria Hall Dover, Charles Douglas, Judith Lenny Dulac, Thomas Durden, Mark Emanuel, Patrick Evans, Fiona Fitzpatrick, Nathaniel Gaffett, Richard Gann, John Grant, Jeffrey Hall, Deborah Hart, Monica Hall Shea, Frederick Leo III, Vincent McAloon, Timothy McCabe, Ruth McKee, David Milner, Christine Mange, Brian Neville, Franklin Castro, Christopher O'Neill, Kathy Payne, Henry Peterson, Jan.
Henry Peterson should have been removed from that.
Yes, sorry.
I'm gonna strike Henry Peterson from my motion, so I don't have to go back and renew the motion. James Rondanoni, David Shower, Sue Ann Shaw, Michael Shea, Richard Fresler, Richard Treckaway, all pending receipt of appropriate license fees and paperwork, and with the stipulation that drivers state rates to passengers prior to departure. Do I have a second? Second by Sven. All those in favor, Sven, right, and Keith? Oh, David, I'm sorry. You may comment.
So,
Sorry,
once
was on a
again,
roll.
once again, the meeting is not as effective for the people in the audience and the people at home because the list isn't published. Nor are the other two lists published on ClearBase.
I sent it there. I haven't gotten to, I haven't spent the time to check
No, I know.
everything, so I did
You know,
send
there are
it.
a lot of things out there, but the two things that are missing, the taxi items as well as the legislative agenda.
Nothing for the-
I'm looking at my clerk's place now, you're absolutely correct.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. I thought that I sent everything.
I've been wrong before on this topic.
Well,
I don't intend to hold.
Pardon?
I didn't want to debate it tonight, but, you know, just.
It was my intention to submit it. Whether it happened, I can't, I'm being pulled in a number of different directions at the moment, so I'm doing my very best.
Here's my further comment. You know, it's my suspicion that the people who have asked to be on the agendas are not submitting, may not be submitting the material in a timely fashion. You know, that should be corrected as part of good process. So you can take that one under advisement as well. Thank you.
Appreciate it, David.
And I'm sorry, that criticism isn't entirely only limited to those items under tonight's discussion. That happens other times as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion been made, second. Any more comments? Sir?
Yes, go on.
All right, I'm in favor, and, Sir, in favor? Keith? Motion carried 3-0. Discussion of Councilor Committee, well, the absence of Martha Ball, Council Ball.
Mark.
Well, no, we have to.
Okay,
Award 2022-2023 taxi license to John Cullen. Which would be in order to grant a new Strong taxi license to the 2022-23 license year, John Cullen, pending receipt of appropriate licensing fees and paperwork, and with the stipulation that drivers state rates to passengers prior to departure.
Second,
Discussion?
is he in the car?
Yes,
I believe he does have one.
he does.
I know there was, okay,
Yes, he does.
good. Well, there was discussions about this.
We got an old car.
Oh, good guy.
Does he have a car that works?
Motion made, seconded without any comments, any urgent comments? All those in favor, Keith? I am in favor, and
Aye.
motion carries. Approval of the taxi waiting list. All right, no, I have taxi waiting list, I don't have buses, taxi, I'm looking at my agenda and. the only-
There's no current on the bus.
What's that?
I don't think there's any current on the bus.
No, I know, but on my agenda, the last item is approving the taxi waiting list. On the agenda is not the bus licenses or the bus waiting list.
It's the motor vehicle for hire commission. It's the motor vehicle for hire licenses. So it includes bus and taxi. A. Jeez.
Okay, got it. Just want to make sure we're doing the right thing here.
Is the motion we did
Didn't make a motion on it
suffice from your perspective?
You'll add the second motion about the, a bus,
yet.
please.
Bus, so motion be in order to renew an additional charter bus license of 2020-22, 2023 to William Lacombe and Patrick Evans pending receipt of appropriate paperwork and licensing fees. Second by Sven. Comments? All those in favor, Keith? Sign in favor, Sven? Great. Motion carries. Motion be in order to accept new storm taxi waiting list. 1, Annie Hall, 2, Glenn Hall, 3, Jeffrey Ernst, 4, Jordan Ryan, 5, Patrick Tennywell, 6, Stephen Paco, 7, Terry Smith, 8, Nancy Pike, 9, Scott Gibbons, 10, Alexis McCabe, 11, Alicia McQueenie, 12, S. Michael McQueenie, 13, Jesse Dorbert, 14, Mario Mott, and 15, Jordan Mack. 15 on the list, correct? Seconded by Sven. Comments? Hearing none, all those in favor, Keith?
Yes.
I am in favor, and Sven. Great. There's currently no one on the bus wait list, so that concludes our discussion on taxes this evening. Yes. Right, can I just mention, just about taxes in general, I saw the agenda today, meeting with the chief. And I know there's been some concerns about getting people moved out of town at late night, having more taxes available.
The license holders meet and discuss who's gonna be doing late night, and, the member on the commission that is a license holder was surprised to learn from the chief that the people that are doing it, were not necessarily always there, suspects that, it was very quiet out there, for the evening, so that's gonna be a topic of discussion when they get here.
And I can appreciate that, anything you can help to disperse that, John,
Absolutely.
much appreciated.
Because there's only 2 tax, people waiting.
Thank you, appreciate that. Number 6, discuss an act on a request of Christopher Warhol to. Item number 6, discuss an act on a request of Chris Warhol to waive the fees associated with his application for the zoning ordinance 513. I thought he was recused. Almost that. We would have been able to talk about it. I'm not sure recused. My birthday number 11 was discuss an act on a request of Chris Welcome to waive the fees associated with applications to amend the zoning ordinance for section 513. Chris Welcome sent a letter requesting to waive all fees associated with the 513 application. I feel the modification of 513 associated ordinance referred to the town's desire to address the affordable attainable housing. It is not the burden of the applicant. How much is the fee?
It's $100 for a application fee, and then additional, according to the ordinance, they're responsible for also paying for the advertising of that ordinance. So depending on whatever the paper were to charge for that, so it might be about $300.
I cannot vote. I think this is for the cause of the community, this is the cause of the town, so I'm all in favor of it.
If we don't waive it, I'll pay it. How's that?
Oh, wait, hold on, I may.
I will make a motion to approve the request of Chris Welcome to waive the fees associated with this application to amend the zoning ordinance section 513. Second by Sven, all those in favor, Mark. I am in favor, Sven, right, and Keith. Yes, motion will carry. Update on the legislative agenda. I was playing phone tag, great.
See you, Brad.
I was playing phone tag, great.
The only update I have at this point, I know today there was the hearing of the revamp. Bill is supposed to be here today. And I assume Rick will be there to take care of that. I thought that we were gonna have something in writing. I don't have the update on the other stuff that they have going on. But I know the Cape Tax was heading to the Senate floor
This week,
this week and was heard in the House last week. And that's the only one I can think of.
and what about, 140%?
I haven't heard anything else on that. I just heard that, the latest I heard on that was that, there has been some discussion from the one, folks that were in opposition of the 140, and there's been some discussion with that individual, with Cindy and a few others, and they appear to have backed up the opposition. So, that has, yeah, that's right. He was expecting a survey. That's what he said at the meeting on Friday. He was expecting a survey. And making it strictly that if we go below the 10%, you're right, if we go below the 10% in the amount of free housing we have right now at 11 point something, drops below 10%, and the 140 is no longer.
I think it's
one
1.0.
point. Oh, positive stuff.
I noticed we've got a letter from. Somebody's asked us to put something else on our legislative agenda. I don't have it in front of me.
Oh, Marion Matthews,
Yeah,
that's not ready to go in front of you yet.
right, she sent a letter to all of us, and just wanted to send correspondence back.
I've been in touch with her.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think she's having a meeting
Yeah,
with Marion.
We're scheduling, scheduling a meeting.
I think, we've been told, I think we agree, and also let know by the alliance that we don't put anything in anymore this year, and to tackle what we already have on our agenda and focus on that. So I do want to leave this, I want to leave this on the agenda if we have updates that are substantive. I think, if I could see what's on the agenda, before we look it up. I think I still up there, it's just kind of leave it there. Sure, we have a hotline, but we have a little link right there. We'll leave it on the agenda if we're able to put a link to it.
If I may, so I went back to April 20th, because that was the last time it was on the agenda.
And nothing changed, nothing changed from that.
You know,
Things come on.
change because things fall off. There's a lot of things on here that were completed. And the reference that Mary Ann just made to something that was going to the Senate floor is not even on here. So things do change.
Right.
I think they are.
Yeah.
I think it is on
Fix it,
the
just-
tax solution.
Yeah, but it's just putting it on there, but getting the updates on.
Tax initiative. The TA tax structure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Over here it says complete resolution. That was a resolution.
There's a resolution, yeah,
Yeah, so.
locally.
We sent the resolution, it got heard in the House the night we were all up there, and then it got heard in the Senate last week, Senate went up to speak to it. The subcommittee immediately passed it and pushed it up to the Senate, so from the update, the new on that is that, it'll be heard next week before the full Senate. This week before the full Senate, and.
Last week it was heard in committee on the House side.
Right, and so we don't know when it's gonna be heard in the full House as of yet, so that's where it stands. You.
If I can say one thing, I thought last Friday's meeting with the May 4th group was very, very good for those who weren't there. You can watch it on YouTube, I believe, but I think that we should do that maybe or coming into September, October, and then do it again. I just thought it was a very good discussion. I thought Rick presented things very well. It was very helpful for all of us. So
Any other comments on the legislative agenda? Announce the vacancies on board commissions and committees. I don't have it in the packet for that.
Gosh, you did these packets.
Your task force, go compliment.
Yeah, motor vehicles for hire, you're looking for two,
Non-taxes,
correct, and they have two vacancies, and then what's the other one?
Deer
It's been there
task
for Deer Task Force, thank you.
And we
Yeah,
use the
two on Deer Task Force as well, and that's it.
Okay.
Those two,
Okay.
thank you.
Item nine is correspondence, notice to the town.
Go ahead.
For preliminary, state of, I don't know, it's not. Correspondence, notice to the town regarding an application for preliminary plan state of minor subdivision, plat 10, lot 6862, 68-1, 68-2, 68-3, 68-4, 68-5, 68-6, 68-7, 68-8, 72, and plat 7, lots 159-2. 160 and 165 for Gaffett, notice of public hearing regarding special use permit for 585 Beach Ave, LLC, plat 5, lot 92. To accept that as correspondence. And
We've received a notification as far as.
for the minutes, April 13th and April 20th, 2022, open and closed. Anybody have any issues with any of those closed minutes? If so, we will go into closed session.
I have no problem with any.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of April 13th and April 20th, 2022, open and closed. Second by Sven. All those in favor, Keith? Mark? Sven? I'm in favor, motion carries 4-0. Item number 11 is to discuss an act on an update regarding negotiations between Rhode Island Council 94, FAFSCME, and AFL-CIO, Local 2855, New Shawn Employees Association, and Town of New Shawn and New Shawn School Committee. This item may be discussed in closed session pursuant to Rhode Island General Laws 1246582, sessions pertaining to collective bargaining or litigation, or work sessions pertaining to collective bargaining or litigation. I assume number 12 will probably be a little closed session too, so we can wrap up one motion.
Yes.
I will ask if anything we can say, but hold on, let me wrap that up in there. Item number 12, receive and act on a report regarding Fenimore and Fisher doing business as Island Moped versus Town of New Shawn et al. WC-2022-0021. This item may be held in closed session. Pursuant to Rhode Island General Laws 1246582, sessions pertaining to litigation, I will make a motion that we go into closed session for items 11 and 12 on the agenda this evening. If there's anything we can say publicly, can we do so at this moment?
No, not at this moment.
Thank you very much. Motion to go into closed session.
Second,
By Mark.
but I'll make one announcement on item 12 regarding Fenimore and Fisher. There is going to be a public meeting where everyone can attend, where we want everyone's input regarding this issue before summer starts.
Thank you very much, Mark. The same comment after closed session, we will do so at that time. Motion has been made and seconded, go into closed sessions on items number 11 and 12. All those in favor, Peter?
Yes.
And Sven?
Yes, Kim.
Thank you. whole lot, right? You know?
They go blow up.
No, I just mean.
Thank you for anybody who's still standing by. I want to make an announcement that no votes were taken in closed session and make a motion to seal the minutes.
Second?
Second by Sven, all those in favor, Keith?
Yep.
All those in favor, Sven? Aye. And Mark? Aye. Motion will carry 4-0. Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second by Sven, all those in favor, Keith?
Yes.
And Mark? Aye. And Sven? Aye. And I'm in favor. Thank you, everybody, for attending the meeting this evening. We'll be back tomorrow.
And best of luck tomorrow.
All right.
Mark.
Oh, bye. Lovely.